respect you. You're the real champ this division. I can respect for you. You're tough fighter, man, but you don't resist my power. You never fight for a guy saying to me, my power, you know. I knock out you. I the next champion in the world. I told this a long time. UFC, come on. I deserve 7 victories in a row. 4 knockouts in the first, 3 knockouts in the first round, 4 knockouts. I got 15 fights for the company, 13 victories. I am ready for the belt.
Y'all zoom in so y'all can show y'all my face. Check a number, bruh. Everybody want to crack at the king. The thing is, I don't want to see him necessarily face anybody. If you're within the top 10, you're always 1 victory away from fighting for a title shot. Somebody can get injured, last-minute replacement. You always are in position. Just keep fighting, keep winning. You're going to get a chance to get across the octagon and see what everybody else thought they wanted, and that's catching the fade. If you look at the top 10 right there, you got Kobe, you got Usman. I mean, I fought a lot of these guys already, but there's guys that he has not matched up with yet. Now he's got his I don't know if this is his first top 10 victory. If it is, now let's go rattle off another victory in the top 10.
I think, yeah, Cormier's got a couple left in him.
And who do you think would be, would there be a rematch of any kind in the making, do you think, for one of his
I hope
fights?
so. I mean, that was what I would like. I would obviously like to see Jones and Cormier fight again at heavyweight. But, right now, Cormier's team wants him to retire now. Right. They want him to retire right now. I hope we can get 3 more fights out of him.
Did we see anything new out of Ponzinibbio?
I don't think so. I think this was pretty much vintage Ponzinibbio from the beginning. I really like those leg kicks. Again, I would have liked to see him maybe finish his combinations with the leg kicks a little bit more. I think that would have hid, what he wanted to do out there, and probably would have finished the fight a lot earlier. But more than anything else, listen, there was a lot of pressure on this guy, fighting in his hometown, doing this in front of a huge crowd. And the fact that he was able to get the win over a top 10 fighter in Neil Magny with all of his experience, I thought was very impressive.
Not only did he do that, he did that after being out almost a year. He did that in front of his hometown, which we talked about earlier, the type of pressure that goes in when you compete in front of your hometown crowd. And he did it, he was patient about it. He could have went out there and just went crazy. We've seen Neil Magny come back, especially the Hector Lombard fight and some other fights, the Kelvin Gastelum. He came back and he won those fights. So he showed patience, he showed poise. Skill-wise, he didn't really show any new wrinkles. He didn't utilize the jiu-jitsu that we know he has. He was pretty much a kickboxer, but he took his time with it.
Yeah, we talk about the leg kicks there, but what about his jab and how effectively he was able to use that tonight?
Yeah, he used his jab a lot. We said earlier, we thought Magny should be using the jab. He's the one that didn't have the power advantage like Ponzinibbio had. The volume advantage would have went to him. Utilizing the jab would allow him to rattle off some more combinations. But I think that he recognized that he landed that one jab initially in the first round that really hurt the right eye of Neil Magny. Then he kept on it, kept popping that jab. And then as he's thinking about the jab, guess what? Now the leg kick's coming.
Yeah, candidly, it's unacceptable that a guy with an 80-inch reach allows another fighter to out-jab him. That's kind of what Magny is known for, that jab. The fact that he didn't use it more often and then got out-jabbed by Ponzinibbio, I think was just not good game planning, or maybe not a good read for him. Ponzinibbio has very good eyes. I think he has a very educated set of eyes, the way that he was reading what Magny was doing. But still, for Magny, you got to utilize that jab.
He's not using his body either. When you see Magny throw his punches, sometimes you see his elbows coming up right here. He's not getting full range. When Ponzinibbio's throwing his punch, you see the right shoulder completely goes through, or left shoulder completely goes through. That's like 6 inches different in the punch. So he might have an 80-inch reach advantage versus 73. But when you don't turn your body, you got your elbows coming out, you're shortchanging yourself on the distance.
We talked about it earlier, that you could see the confidence in a striker when they're throwing more volume, when they're throwing more combinations. That was Santiago Ponzinibbio. It was not Neil Magny. Magny needs to have more confidence in himself, throw not just that jab, but throw more combinations, because it wasn't like Ponzinibbio he was not moving his head at all. That was a stable target, so he should have been throwing a lot more shots.
Yeah, and what about those leg kicks? I mean, we talked about how badly the calf kicks hurt. Is there anything he could have done to avoid them, or to kind of spare his legs in those later rounds?
The calf kicks are tricky because it's not like the kick to the quad where you kind of lift your leg up to block. You kind of have to plant your foot and turn your foot out against those calf kicks. If you lift them up, it takes you out almost like a sweep.
I mean, when you think about Neil Magny and throwing a jab, you want to be light on your feet when you're throwing a jab. You want to be bouncing. That's going to set you up. You are going to get kicked with the calf kick. But once you've already been kicked 10 times, you're going to hit that butt 7 to 10 times from the kick. Now you got to switch the game up. You can't pop that jab out there. You got to point your leg out. When the kick comes, don't even try to check it anymore. Point your knee towards the kick, right hand at the same time, and then rattle off a combination after that. That's what he should have went to. It came to the point where a leg check was not going to work.
Yeah,
even if he
didn't
pointed
make him
out.
pay for it. That's a great point.